Good morning. Good morning. All right. Good morning, everybody. Let's get this party started right here. Let's get ready. All right. So we're taking a look at crude oil. Right now, we're about 12 minutes away from the cash market open, and we have hit target number one multiple times over the past day, and also over the Globex session. We're coming to retest Globex right now, which is 87.1. That level needs to hold in order for this channel to continue to perform and produce another attempt at target number, actually two, be honest with you, which is 85.9. Um, uh, this level here is 87.1, which is Globex. So a couple of other levels that needs to hold also is 87.71, and this rotation will continue to sell into target number three, which is 84.37. And you could tell that the whole rotation instigated with a captain set up short, and there was a couple of them right here, one and one, and then the market kind of sold off into these levels. Russell 2000, Globex 20, 25.2, pretty much right when the market opened, this level came as a solid resistance, and we rotated and never looked back through the whole night session. So that's going to be an important thing. I mean, we did something similar to it yesterday. We came to the middle of the range on that one and reversed. But here we're actually breaking the structure of the cloud. And channel number one is actually channel number one and channel number two are broken on this structure, meaning from that low that instigated that whole move, and you're looking at that price, we needed to kind of hold on to the middle of the range at 2017.9 overnight, and the market just did not had enough of that and broke right through that level. Okay, so rallies are shortable into that level again. If we move on to between target number one and target number two and end up retesting 10, between 10 and 18, then we should be able to see a bit of a fade uh, and some selling pressure to resume. And I can't see myself kind of getting short rod at the open here in crude. I mean, excuse me, in Russell. I'd rather see a bit of a run up and then a bit of a sell off. Gold, we broke that channel, that big channel that we were in, that started at 1717, and now we're rotating within it. We hit target 1, 2, and 3, and rallies back up need to hold the 1795, 96, and the 1800. And if that happens, then potentially we could flush into 1758. I rather really kind of look at the long side than the short side, but we need the market to completely reverse the structure into a structure that looks similar to that, where the cloud are positive and we're coming back and retesting. ES, we broke channel number one. Now where we at right now is the bottom end of the cloud, and that market needs to flip around and close above 42.90 on a swing basis. Good morning, Sheila. Good morning, Adnan, good morning. Digitron, how are you guys doing? So we're looking at the retest of that channel as an opportunity to establish channel number two. And if that doesn't happen, then we're going to drop into 4260. So that first half an hour of um, keep running. Sorry, people are grabbing my attention here. But we're basically looking for rallies as a shorting I mean, if we break the 42.9075, then that will reestablish channel number two, and then we have a chance at Globex, which is 43.09 and a quarter. If this structure here and we cannot hold the bottom end of the cloud, the odds are we're going to start dropping to 42.60 than 42.40. And I rather basically leave that first half an hour of the day and let the market kind of give me guidance to um, what it wants to do on ES. If I'm just simply looking at the channel, I'm thinking that the market is going to bounce up a little bit here at the open. There is buyers in the system, and that's just a solid, support area. But we need to see a bit more behavior, like 42.90 and a quarter, in order for us to start really getting engaged on the long side. Now let's take a look at NQ. NQ. It's going to be similar. The the instrument that's struggling the most is Russell 2000. That's what's struggling the most. And here we have Globex at 658, and we sold off away and pushed away from that level. We're at the bottom end of the cloud, so really you're gonna have to have a reversal candle at 584. 85. If that happens, that can put us in a position to start buying the pullbacks. Otherwise, that most likely we're going to break the 500 and flush to the 450. If this structure at the open uh, does not improve in the favor of the longs. Okay. And that's that. And also, and the 200 and the 100 NT wrinkle are in sync right now on the short side. Here we go. We have about 5 minutes or so. So even if the market kind of close at 544, which is not too far away from here, that will trigger a captain setup long that can start a wave of buying interest into that 584. So that would be an interesting behavior. When I look at ES, I'm seeing a captain setup long here, another captain setup long here. So between 66 to 70, they seem to be coming in and trying to base and hold that price. As far as signals right now, I mean, the only thing that's running that I can look at is this short wave, harmony wave that we're seeing right now. And you have a captain set up short, you have a test and a retest of the structure. They came in here and got rejected at 35. So the market is kind of set up for a bit of a selling pressure at the open. But like we do every single day, kind of, we have to be patient and wait and give the market a little bit of time, and let's read it. And then we can go into taking on trades. I'm going to send an order out in the market right now just to kind of see if I can. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so our orders are going through. All right, guys, get excited, get focused. Let's stay disciplined, and let's make some money. Okay. Good morning, Pat. Good morning, Gary. All right, so we're getting a bit of bouncing around here. There's nothing for me to do. Just let's pay attention to what the price is doing now. It would be interesting to me if we break the 545 because that will put on a captain setup short, and now they're putting a captain setup short on the 50. And if they break it above 33 and a quarter, I may just kind of jump in also because that is a bit of 33. Yeah, 33. I'm ahead of it a little bit, but here it comes. All right, let's see if I can hold on to. Oh, I went short. That's not what I was trying to do. What the hell happened here? Let's try and go long. Okay, so yeah, we're oversold here. Okay, so let's do this again here. So the 33, uh, so we bought, sold, and oversold. Okay, I guess I see what happened. So ultimately, if we go up to that 546, is a big deal. Yeah, if we break now to 540, I will go long. And I know it's a little bit early, but that's a good structure for me because they have a captain set up short and they failed it into a switch trade. So that 40 break would be an important one. Okay, they didn't do it. Yeah, absolutely, Yanis. No. Yeah. No love in here, and they're about to put a captain set up long on that 47. They just did that. I'm looking for pullbacks to get involved if they are so kind to give it to me. Yeah, yeah, they're gonna run it. They're gonna run it. Good morning, Ken. Good morning, Safe. I am gonna start taking. I'll take it one at a time here, and I'm, I'm gonna see if I can get a push to target number 3, which is in the 70s. Okay, I took one off, and I'll leave it. I'll leave one contract in, and see if we can muster a little bit of energy upward, or otherwise, I just simply will dump this. Okay, I'm gonna get out of this one and just watch the market for a little bit. So that captain setup right here is not performing as well as I wanted to. So we took a long here, actually, that gave us over 10 points, but I was looking for something bigger, and then took one more, covered and covered. What is that? 10, 20. Oof. Let's give this market a little bit of time and see what we can make sense of. I want the market to be in sync right now, and it's actually in sync on the short side. There you go. So they're flushing that captain setup. Wow. That's okay. Yeah, it was that was all right. We just recognize it. Yeah, they did fail that captain setup right here. I mean, they gave us like one candle from 44 to 64. I mean, they gave us pretty much 20 points on that rotation. And since I didn't get that one, I was like, okay, let's see if I can get a bit of the bounce back. And got one here and got one here that I flattened fairly quickly. Then that one gave it just a little bit more room. One and a two. Yeah, it's 50. 25 points basically, and that stopped me out. But on one contract, it's no big deal. Let's just keep working. Let's keep working. So okay, so the market is in sync on the short side right now. And we need to be looking for rallies as a shorting opportunity against that high of 565, and we're looking for a harmony wave to reestablish itself. ES is, I mean, it's doing the same thing that NQ is doing pretty much. Uh, They're bouncing it back to, I mean, or they pulled it back right to these captain setup longs around the 4270, and they're holding the price. Look at this nasty stuff going on here. Yeah, we need a new harmony wave. I'm not gonna participate in any of this stuff, either long or short, till I see this type of behavior, a harmony wave. And I'm gonna get in there from the beginning of that wave and kind of go from there. We're coming in and around that um, 500 level, right? That whole number. So we're dancing around that level. I mean, if this candle that we are in here closes lower, I mean, I can take a shot at a short with just one contract. Yeah, okay, so that they didn't do it. That's fine. Yeah, so look where they're at. They're literally kind of broke this captain setup short, long, retested a whole number, and they're just oscillating in and around target number 2, which is 510. I think a little bit of patience here is what we need. Hmm. Well, that's a switch trade, but yeah, that is a switch trade. I mean, if they close this candle lower, I mean, I'll take a shot at a short for a flush below the 80, but they have to kind of close that candle. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'll take a small stop. Shouldn't be doing that right here. should be continuing to sell off. So I took whatever that is, 7-point stop. Let's give the market a little bit of time. We'll go from there. Good morning, Omer. How are you? So that their failure to kind of break that level right here at which is 488, and they had a chance right here at 93.75. So either they're gonna take 1, 2 candles in that direction and flush, or take multiple rotation upward and retest these kind of levels. So right now the market is still in sync on the short side. If we break above 533, then that will kind of set us up for the market being disconnected. I wouldn't worry about it. Here we go. All right, we got 5 minutes to the top of the hour. All right, we got today is crude inventory report, and at 2 p.m. we have FOMC meeting minutes. Really not much of big news right now. So the market is out of sync right now. A couple of things need to happen in order for us to get engaged on the short side. One is to this candle to completely reverse down to the 96, or the market can run up to that 57 area. Well, actually, yeah, 57 area and then reverse. That's another opportunity to get short, but we need to see a complete 100 NT wrinkle reversal. Or the market can decide that it wants to go to 583, and there, that complete reversal will be bullish behavior, and we can look at pullbacks as a buying opportunity. Anything in between, it's kind of noisy market. I mean, look at this kind of rotation, and they're reversing the majority of it. So it's not really So we had this, we had a trade right here, and we had a trade right here. And let's take a look. So far for today, we are down $623 on those decisions. And this is what we're doing for the month so far. So we had just small stopping days. Yesterday was 900. I had one more trade. I made a couple of $100. So we're down 7 here and 6 here. Let's just keep working. The day is young. Okay. Digitron. Yeah, I get it. Well, the FMC, I think it's not, it's not the fund rate. It's member speaks. That's Bowman speaks. It's not, you get the FMC minutes and then Bowman speaks there. So FOMC minutes are typically are important because people get guidance off of that to what the Feds are inclined to do. And we're seeing a bit of kind of noisy market so far today. I think patience. Let's just be patient. It's 9 o'clock, the top of the hour. We know what we need for the market to do. We kind of came in a little bit early here when the market kind of gave us a captain setup long on the 100 interior Rinco. It's a good spot, and actually it went up about 20 points before that whole structure kind of collapsed. So it's not necessarily a bad spot to go long into. It just we couldn't get long, and we had to go long on the pullback, and that got stopped out. So let's just be patient and wait. And what are we waiting for? Couple of things. One is a break below 500. They do that, then that can set the stage back for a continuation of the short pressure. Or they can rally this thing up, which I'm not going to act toward it. But when you get to the 570 and or close, and then you reverse, then that will also be a short behavior. And that will be an environment that I will look for signals to go and start trading. If we break 582, then that would be a close of the 200 Inti-Rinko, and that will be an environment that is long. And because at that point you establish channel number 2 on the upside, and you're going to start kind of grinding back up to the 600 and the 612 and 20s. So if the market does that, then I'll look for pullbacks as a buying opportunity. Now, so we know the scenario. Scenario number 1 is right now go down to 500. Then I'll start acting. Scenario number 2, you go to 570. I'm not going to act in the way up to 570. But if it gets there, then we reverse. Then I'm going to act on the short side. Or you go at that 582, and then I'll act on pullbacks. So one of those three scenarios are all waiting scenarios. You're waiting for the market to do something before I do something else. Now, I can come in and be aggressive and say, all right, the system is giving me a harmony wave long or a harmony wave short in this case. Let me look for shorts on a scalping basis. That is also an option for me, but that's an option in this environment that I'm not taking. Very similar behavior, Sheila, that we're seeing in ES. I mean, right now we have cloud that is positive, and target is target number one coming up at 42.81. As long as we continue to hold on to 275 with an entry at 78. But that the same choppiness you're seeing in NQ, you're seeing it in ES. So there's no sense in trying to kind of be aggressive in this environment. Right? So we know what we're looking for. We have to define the environment, then we have to define a behavior, then we have to define a signal. So we know what the market has to do in order for us to define an environment. So let's wait for that, and then we'll go from there. All right. So they established they closed the 100 NT wrinkle on the at 520, and now they're flushing to target number two. Target number three in this sequence is 477, excuse me, and we're looking for rallies as a shorting opportunity. Right now, I'm looking for the market to disconnect and reconnect back in with another harmony wave. And let's see where they do that at. I mean, that was actually a good entry point here around that 520 because they flushed it, then give us a inception trade. I was away from the desk for a minute. So let's see what they do here. It's just basically a minimum of two candle up, one candle down within target one and the entry point of a new um, cloud shift. So whenever you see that happen, exactly what you're seeing right here, where the market runs up, comes back in, but it has to happen at the beginning of the wave and also at the beginning of the new shift in the cloud. Yeah, here you go. Target number three coming up. About to hit target number three for 477.75. At least we're getting a little bit of separation here. So now the harmony wave is disconnected. That's a decent one too. I mean, we started from the 20s all the way down to basically almost 55, 60 points on that rotation. Yeah, multiple attempts at this middle of the range. I'm waiting to see if this 85 will close, because if it does, that could put me in a position to go short. And let's see if we can get anything going here. That's one out. And it's that kind of party today. Okay. Yeah, I was waiting for that too, but I saw the 25 NT wrinkle build up and I went with it. I may give this thing one more shot right here and then go from there. Nope. Okay. Yeah, so that 30 did not build up, but if you look at the 25, it did. That's what kind of got me involved in that. Was hoping to see a bit of a follow through below 80, and the market is doing the chicken dance. I see we're back to that 500 number. You would expect a bit of a follow through below 90. Really? I'm out of that one. I mean, they're putting a cap that's set up here. So, I mean, obviously, we're not connecting with this market very well today. I mean, that's just the bottom line here. Yeah, we're not connecting very well with it. Alrighty. All right, so I'm gonna hold off on putting any more trades, and I will wait for give it a little bit of time. Maybe the market will change in a way that we can understand. But where we at for the day? Here we go. We are down 12.59 and moving on to the next decision. I mean, so okay, so this type of rotation right here, maybe we're just a little bit too tight in it, and it just kind of the market is carrying a lot of noise in the signals because both of them just kind of worked out, and we didn't have that many contracts in them to begin with. But it is what it is. You just have to kind of figure out what kind of day you're having. And go from there. It looks like the market wants to just flush. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're just kind of following what the market is telling us, and the market was telling us to get short right here. I mean, you had a switch trade, you had a continuation with a captain setup. It's just then it is just signals carrying a little bit of noise in it, and I'm tight just because of the quality of price action today. So that kind of got me out of those two trades before they rolled over into profit. It's all right. If we draw a channel, where on the 100 NT Rinko, we tested it. Look at that. They're flushing. They're flushing. Flushing, flushing, flushing. So they put a captain setup long, came back, tested and retested it one more time up here, and then flushed everybody in that rotation into target number 3, which is 49.75. Okay, good for them for doing what they're doing. Target number 2 is hit in that sequence. Whoever stuck around in those rotations, good job. And target number 2 is hit. Target number 3 is going to be 440. Make that money. Target number 3 is hit. And he bounces back up here. You have a target number 4, which is 395, and that's quite a distance, but it's possible with this type of grinding price action. But you can see here that the market just spent a lot of time at the open consolidating the Globex move, and it wasn't an easy, price action to trade. Then we're starting to stair step lower and test and retest. Yeah, PJ. Yeah, we need. Yeah, the longs need a bit more conviction, because I mean you got to look at the big picture here. So we broke that channel, and we broke that channel at 630. Uh, that's the price that we broke it off of, and we tested target number 2 pullbacks. I mean, excuse me, the cash market open right here around the 500 and played around, and now they're just kind of walking it. So we're hitting a level here, which is the 439, that is critical. And you really need a close above 533 in order for the market to have a complete 200 anti-wrinkle reversal. And from there, we can take a look at a pullback as a buying opportunity. Now, if you are fading and you're fading these moves, Just gonna be careful and keep it tight. Good morning, Brad. So that harmony wave, that last harmony wave right here, got disconnected, and now they're pushing it a bit higher here. Right. All right. So that's a bit of a V recovery, right? And 483. If we break 483, that will lead us to a bit of a disconnect between the 200 and the 100. Yeah, I mean, if yeah, we're about to disconnect between the 200 and the 100 anyway here any minute, and you're getting, I mean, the same exact thing that you're seeing in NQ, you're seeing in you're seeing in ES. Here we go. So that is market is out of sync here. So what does that mean? That mean that the 200 and the 100 are out of harmony, and a couple of things need to happen. One, a breakdown below 446. Second, a run up to the 500 or the 515, then a complete reversal, very similar to what we saw here in when the market kind of flipped around that 521 and flushed. So that could be the second scenario, or it is the second scenario. Third scenario is you have a complete reversal into 530. You break that 530, then the market is going to be in sync on the long side. Anything in between, you're going to get a lot of noise and a lot of consolidation behavior, which to me, I'm gonna try to undertrade this market. That's basically what I'm trying to do. So we know what the market needs to do for us to act. It's just a function of waiting for the market to tip its hand one way or another. Then we'll start looking for behavior and signals. Okay, so Brad, why they're out of sync? Because you have uh, the you always look at the prior candle. So the prior candle of the 200 Inturinco is negative, right? The candle closed lower at 456, and this candle is undecided yet. If we look at the prior candle in the 100 Inturinco, we see that it closed higher at 483.50. So that means the prior candle on the 200 is short, and the prior candle on the 100 Inturinco is long in the fact that the price is actually closed higher. I mean, if you look at the whole structure of the market, the overall structure is short, right? But the concept of being in harmony or out of harmony when it comes to the 200 and the 100 is both of them need to be facing the same direction, and the prior candle has closed short, and that's not what you're seeing right now. So what it does in many ways is when you get the 200 and 100 in sync, I mean, that's what happened here. We got from 520 and the market kind of sold off, and we were looking for these rotations to get short into. And it was successful. I mean, you got the 520 right here. That give us 1-2 rotations. Then the market consolidated here, give us 1-2 rotations. So there's 4 rotations since the market got in harmony between the 200 and the 100, and that started at 520 and kind of ran all the way down to that 440. So if you line yourself constantly in that direction, you should be doing just fine. That's interesting, right? Let's see what they're doing here. Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Mark. How are you? All right, so they're trying to stabilize it right here. We'll see if that holds up or not. They're putting a captain setup long on the 20. So the expectation is to see a price above 40. Let's see if they have any strength here, because that's a good test. I mean, they could get it to 40 and come back and flush it, but definitely you want to see at least at a minimum a run up to that 40. And here you go. So now let's see what they do with it. And quickly rejected it. At least paused it. Yeah, we may be seeing a bit of counter trends that going to be happening here, but it's too early. But that captain set up like right when that happened, you could tell that this is a market that's just going to jump up to 40 quickly. Okay, and then kind of test and retest, and we'll see what the quality of the retests are in and around these levels. Now, I mean, let's put it this way. If we close above 70, that will lead to another disconnect in the market. And we're getting a bit of a double bottom on ES as well. So, the market is shaping up for a bit of a counter trend here. Yeah, 70 is an important level. For multiple reasons. One of them is you will be breaking, if you break above 70, you're breaking the channel. Okay, perfect, Sheila. Yeah, I was worried about you there. You know what the cause was? Here we go. I mean, that would be a switch trade, and that would be a nice little punch to that 61, 60, 16, 70, basically. Let's see if that happens. We break 70, then the market is out of sync again. Yeah, we don't want to see a captain set up short right here. we go. Good morning, Hadid. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Okay, perfect, perfect. Is there a good connection there at that spot? Yeah, so they put, I mean, look at that. I mean, they put a captain set up long, run it up. They put a captain set up short, and they run it down. And we're in the middle of that range right here. So we got to see what this market is all about. All right. Okay. They want to shake people around here. So you break anywhere above 52, that's a switch trade on the 50 NT Winco. And that can set the stage up for a run up into the 70. And from the 70, the market will probably get into the 85, 90. And then you have a complete reversal at 508. So if we break this 55 zone and test that well on a pullback, then that whole rotation that you're seeing right now, it's basically will be a base for the market to kind of push higher. But that has to happen. So hasn't happened yet. It's interesting right here. I mean, they keep really putting captain setups like that. I mean, if they fail this captain setup right here, which is at 53, I'll just kind of jump in there and take a shot at it for a run up to 60 to 70. Yeah, they gotta fail that 53 though, and I could go and just post my order. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'll just cancel this order. Yeah, so that didn't happen. So we're gonna cancel that one. So far, the shorts are obviously in control. I mean, we just had a price stability behavior right here. We put a 33 captain setup, ran it up to almost a 60, 55, came retested and put two captain setups in a row right next to each other. And now they're pushing. I mean, that is impressive. Yeah, the 50 NT Rinko. So now there's a bit of a behavior that is critical here. You're putting a captain setup short right here after the market is, I mean, by all means, extended itself. So now, you start breaking anywhere above that 456, makes it that more critical. And meaning that everybody that got short here will be just rolled over. And it looks like the market is trying to pause here. But the 200 and the 100 are in sync on the short side, and that's where we kind of have to keep our eyes open. It's just we have extended ourselves a bit, and we moved from Globex, which is 650, to, let's call it 450, about 200 points. And now we are in a consolidation. I mean, if they put a switch trade here, I'll take it. It looks like we are. Uh, that's fine. Well, we took one off, and let's see if we can get anything going here. Another switch trade will be huge. All right, which actually puts me to where I could go break even right now. And it's either going to work and run up to 65.70, or it's going to come back down here and stop me. We made a little bit of money, and we could make a lot more or break even on the rest. But 70 is one of those places that I'm looking for, and we should at least get a bit of a fade toward it, unless they want to put another captain setup short here, which would be surprising to me, and it may just happen. Okay. That's what they want to do. That's what I want to do. But in this type of environment, I have to take the break even stop. I just have to. And if they decide that they want to rotate it one more time and run up, then good for them. That's fine. Because look what they've been doing with the captain setups. They're just literally selling, selling, selling. Yeah, see, look at I'm telling you, they're bastards. The 50 NT Rinko. I mean, that's just it's an aggressive play, Ken, and it's based on what I'm seeing here in the 50 NT Rinko. Which here it comes. Here comes a target. Oh Lord. Okay. So we were talking about that just a second ago, Ken. It's yeah, the environment is all short, but look at that. They put a captain set up short after that extension, and then right at that point, at that 55, they reversed it. So basically, they trapped everybody in that rotation, and the natural progression of that move is another run up to the middle of the range, which will take you into the 66.70 area. So based on that information, I took a fade and I took it on a switch trade while the cloud is positive or about to get positive, and also you have the harmony wave was in my in my favor. And here you go. So the 200 and 100 out of sync again, came back and retested and running up a little bit here. Ultimately, the goal is 507, 510. We get to that level, then things things can start looking better for the longs. And in essence, if that actually materializes, we will be looking at channel number 2, and that is a weak channel, by the way, because typically channel number 2 is very close to where the the cloud is at, and that's consistent with a strong momentum. But whenever the market and price breaks Globex, I mean it breaks the cloud significantly and then gives us one candle reversal, tend to be short-lived. But we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of things need to happen in order for us to even think in terms of a channel number 2. We do have to have the close above 508 for that to happen. The overwhelming behavior right now is consistent grinding lower. Now we recognized an area, and that area is right here. And we can only trade the market that we see, right? This zone right here. Okay, so what was unique about this zone is a couple of things. One of them, the market flushed and gave us a captain setup. Then the test of that captain setup is, can you move to the middle of the range? And we talked about the 40. It's going to go to the 40s. Sure did. Went up to almost 55, give us a captain setup short. Market bounced right back down. It's like they're ping-ponging people back and forth, back and forth. They run it up, give us another captain setup short. They bring it back in. Okay. Then they put a switch trade, and we took advantage of that, made small amount of money. And once they give us a captain setup short here, I'm like, I'm not interested in sticking around. So I flatted that one. But our target was 70, and we hit 70. And then we hit target number 2 of that sequence at 75. And ultimately, what you're seeing here is just the price stability and a pause in price action. That's all what we're seeing right now. And it just provided us with a quick scalp. I made a decision to take it, made a little bit. And now, from the bigger perspective, from the swing trade perspective, what am I looking at here? I'm looking at a market that is out of sync, out of harmony. The 200 and the 100 are not in sync. So basically, a couple of things got to happen. Either the market and price comes down to 433, and if they do that, then basically we're back in sync on the short side, and there's a potential of uh, another flush lower. If that doesn't happen and we start trading higher, I mean, again, we have the 508 that we need to be concerned with. And if we get to that level, then we establish channel number 2, and we can look for pullbacks as a buying opportunity. But mind you, it's going to be a bit of a weak, potentially weak run up. So I need to keep my targets a little bit small when it comes to the long behavior. Okay, so those are the two different scenarios that can present itself in the next half an hour to an hour, and it's going to depend on what the market does. Then we'll react to what the market does. So like you see right here, they get it up to 75, then they come back down and flush it. It's just not super strong in any meaningful way. It's just I recognize this spot as like, okay, I understand what they're trying to do here. And to add to that spot is this, because Ken asked that question, is like, everything is short. Why are you trying to go long here? Because this captain setup short that they put on, and completely, or initially they reversed it to 445 very quickly. So now any break above that 55 is is going to be an important break, because basically you trapped uh, everybody between 54 and 30. You trapped them. So that's what got me to start going long also. So you have this structure that you're seeing plus the captain setup short structure that you see here. So both those elements put me in a position to where I could look at a scalp and go for it. Now the OOH harmony trend mean, it's out of harmony. The market is out of harmony. So it's either short, long, or out of harmony. OOH. All right. Well, here you go. The 200 and the 100 are in sync again. So now, excuse me, what is the game plan? Is to see potentially a run up to that 50 or 45.50 and a failure or a signal in that zone, or the second option is to see the whole harmony wave discontinued or disconnected and reconnected. And that would be the optimum kind of behavior that I would be looking for. 60, 60, 61, 75. So we'll see what they do for us here. How's everybody doing so far across the board, including streams, YouTube, Facebook, and Trade Arcade? How's everybody doing across the board? Yeah, that's definitely an improvement. It's interesting how, I mean, they're just pausing it here and just running it. I mean, they're just churning the price over and over and over. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Hmm. So looking at that big picture, you need to have that reversal that didn't happen here, and we'll continue to trade like this. We're gonna probably just get to that 400 and potentially flush it to 75. So we'll see what happened there. Yeah, and we're seeing a little bit of a pause here. It could be just a minor one. Ultimately, 200 and the 100 is in sync on the short side. Mm, okay. Well, that's good to know, Omer. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. The personality of the day is a slow grind, and there's few traps that are sprung from time to time along the way. Let's take a look at some of the trades that we took. So we got long here, made a little bit. Here we got chopped up myself by being very tight. Okay, so we accrued a little bit of money. We took a stop here, small one, very small one. And that early in the day, we took that captain set up long on the 100 NT Rinco. Couldn't get in right at the premium entry, which is 46, and ended up taking the pullback, and that stopped me out. So that's how the day is looking like so far. As far as where we at for the day, we are down 1238, and that's our equity curve since the beginning of the month. So really from the high of 13,000, we're just between those 2 days, we're just kind of pulled back about 2 grand from that equity high. And we had a sequence of just positive days, then we had this. Positive days, then this little spot here that we're working through. And the day's not over yet. I mean, granted that I see something of quality, but you have to gracefully take whatever the day offers you. And some days, I mean, I'm simply like out of sync. And I figured when I started trading intra, like within that window of the first half an hour, that's usually not my best time slot out of all my trading. Is that first between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. It's not the best of over time. That slot is a net negative. But anyway, I saw that captain set up long. It looked good to me. Took it, got stopped. It's not like we just kind of were crazy trading. We just took signals that didn't work. But that's where we at for the day, and that's where we at for the month. And we're about 11,178, and we will continue to work and work and work. All right. So while the last couple of minutes here, let's take a quick look at the rest of the indices that we watch. And crude oil, yeah, they came back and slapped it right back in where it belongs. And we may be getting a bit of uh, a push if we can break the entry point, that stop of 85.65. If we break that, then things going to start speeding up on the short side. The market gave us a captain setup short that was beautiful on the August the 12th, in and around 91.85. Then we got August 14, 88.75. Okay, Russell 2000. Ooh, baby, look at that. But what's so interesting about Russell is here, that level. See that channel? It was a beautiful channel. Channel number, actually, it's channel number 2, and we broke it right there. We came tested it yesterday, and uh, and actually established it yesterday, and broke it today during the Globex session. Okay, and that was a massive move into target 1. Now we're hitting target number 2. Rallies are shortable, and it's a lot weaker than NQ and or ES. And here we come into a selling pressure in gold, breaking target number 3, 1782.9, and we're looking for a continuation of this pattern against the high of 1796.7. So that instrument is okay. And here we go again. We were looking for a potential pause and a reversal at 42.70, and never happened. So there's nothing for us to do there. And the market kind of bleeded, breaking target channel number 1 of this of this sequence. And actually, it broke it a lot earlier. Just needed to adjust this. Here we go. Yeah, so it broke it, not here, it's actually broke it up at that 43.03, and that's where that channel built, and we have not built channel number 2 yet. So that is pre-sustained selling pressure, and ultimately the market got a break 42.80 and a half in order for the longs to get back in action. On a daily perspective, we broke that big channel, and we're going to most likely come back in the next a day or two and retest some of that breakout pattern. So 172 half is a possibility in this rotation daily. Same thing, kind of, there's weakness here. Target number 1 hit. Target number 2 is 78.76, and that's a big move if we get there. And we are within a channel number 1 in crude oil on the short side. Gold on a daily, oh yeah, they paused here, pulled back. They're in the middle of the range, protecting the top end of the cloud here. So there's a potential that we may even see a bit more selling to that 60-50 range. I mean, that's a possibility in how this market is moving. And the overall trend is short, but we experienced a pause and a 1717 break that led to this move. It is a significant move. Russell 2000, a complete reversal after hitting target number 2 and spending about 4 days dancing around target number 2. Now they're becoming decisive, and you're getting a complete bearish engulfing behavior, and that can lead to a multi-day trading behavior. And you can look at this type of pattern and see whenever the market reverses with that type of size of a candle that you can get a continuation of that behavior for multiple days. So that's what we're looking at. And that could potentially come and test 1943 on that rotation. Okay. The overall trend, since we broke that channel, it is uh, positive, and there are opportunities to buy the dip, but we're at the first day of a reversal after the market made a significant move from that breakout that happened on 720, and that went from let's call it 1800 to 2029. That's significant, and you're getting that 1 day pause, 1 day reversal, and we need to see how that one closes. So that's it for me. Uh, and we will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. You guys have a good one.